Welcome to the Do This for Life podcast with OEV's Revamp. I told y'all the revamp was coming. Now it's here. So y'all get ready for this. Come get it off your chest.
Dreamers to do this for life.
That's right.
Think you say make God this time, we'll get it off your chest. The chips and sex.
Come on.
Holiday come get us right. Dreamers to do this for life.
That's right.
Think you say make God this time, we'll get it off your chest. The chips and sex. Come on, yeah.
Welcome to the Ships and Sex Podcast with your big sis OEV of Be Truly Faithful. I'ma still be right here in your ear every Wednesday, exposing the ills of our relationships and the repression of our sex lives, while always giving practical steps to get us from struggle to liberation. So come get it off your chest at Ships and Sex. So let's chill into today's episode. So what is up, everyone? Thank you so much for being so patient with this transition. That's what's up. Thank y'all for being so patient. Thank y'all for being here today. I got to build up some episodes on ships and sex so I can complete my goals for the year. But the most amazing thing is that I was able to do this for life for the first half of the year. And now I have transitioned to do ships and sex for the last part of the year. So I will have a whole year of podcast episodes anyway for both, which is so dope. So, and I thank y'all for following along and sharing and things of that nature. I really appreciate you all for being so patient with me. And I'm glad that we're here. And there's still going to be more tweaks and everything like that. So, but this is the beginning and it's there. That's the thing, is it's got to happen, right? Okay. So today I'm going to give you 5 ways to qualify someone for a relationship with you. And it's generalized, okay? It's not going to be like in grave detail because I don't know you personally. And I'm not doing a one-on-one with you session or anything like that. And I'm not in a closed group setting talking to you. So normally when I get up close and personal, like all up in your biz, I can give you a strategic plan based on what you've told me for your life when it comes to your ships, right? So I can do that in one-on-one, and I can definitely do that in small group settings when I have those. But since I'm not doing that with you all, so for everyone who's listening, these are going to be general things that you can do, but just know they really do work. I've done them. I still do them. They really do work, but you're just going to have to incorporate it into your life the best way you can with me not knowing you personally. But these do work, okay? So I'm gonna give you 5 ways to qualify someone for a relationship with you. So the first thing you want to do, y'all, let's just go right into it, is it's really common sense, but you need to determine what type of ship you're about to open. All right, what ship you are about to open to allow people into or allow someone into. And all that means is, remember, ships is relationships, right? That's all it is. So when you think of a ship, all it is you're determining if you're going to open up romantic ship, are you going to open up friendship, or even mentorship. Okay, like for me right now in my life, I am actually opening up my ship for mentoring. So I'm looking for mentees. I have been mentoring the same small group of ladies for the last so many years, and I feel like it's time now to open it up to some new ladies. So that's one main reason I've been having these little 20-minute consults. Although it helps, it's a quick pick-me-up for you all. It helps you, but it's also helping me to choose someone that I can mentor. This is something that I've been called to do, and I love doing it. And I'm still gonna mentor the ladies that I'm already mentoring. And I actually got a couple that I'm working on to see if they're going to fit. It takes time now. And that's another thing I want to share with y'all today. This is not a quick process. Okay. When you're allowing someone into your ship, it's not a quick process. And we're going to talk about that in just a second. So I'm opening up my ship for mentorship. That's the ship I'm opening. So I'm looking for maybe 1 or 2 ladies to enter into the ship. So first I got to determine which one I want to open. So am I going to open up a romantic ship, a friendship, or mentorship, or whatever kind of ship it is that you may be just sitting around like, or you've been thinking lately, like, you know what, I'm good. I've been single for a minute, I'm good, and I'm ready to enter into a romantic ship. Or, you know what, I've had the same friends, or I don't have really good friends, or I really don't have friends. I would like to open up my ship of friendship. I would like to open that up. So you're determining what type it is. And I want y'all to think of something. Let me give y'all something before I go any further. I want you to think of a ship like this. When you think of relationships and you hear me constantly saying ships, think of Noah's Ark, okay? And think about you, whatever your name is, that's your ark, okay? And in that ark, this particular ark, just right now, we're going to deal with family. Let's say this is a kinship, all right? Your Noah's Ark is kinship. So, and the most precious people that you are related to are on this ark. They're in there. These are your kins. They could be your children if you have any. This can be mom, dad, sibling, cousins, whatever, whoever that you have in this particular ship. All right. So you get to decide who to add to your ark. So the ark is about to close. So let's say I gave you the example of Noah's Ark. So I want you to think of ships like Noah's Ark. This is an ark, that ark protected people. It went through a flood for 40 days and 40 nights, and everything was provided for those people on that ark, right? So in your ships, you have all that you need. So when you invite people in, or you're allowing people to come in, they will be taken care of and you will be taken care of. But here's the thing. If you let the wrong people on that ark, they could cause chaos in there. All right. See, because the amazing thing about the ark is while there were storms brewing on the outside of the ark, everybody in it was safe. And that's how I want you all to look at your ships, that it's a safe haven for you and those you love. Did y'all get that? So you don't want any and everybody to come into your safe haven, whatever ship it is. You don't want anyone to come into your safe haven and mess it up and disrupt it. Okay? So I want y'all to think of it that way. And we're going to go a little bit more in detail. All right? All right. So who would you allow in whatever ship that you're ready to open? Who would you allow to sail with you for 40 days and 40 nights? What about 5-10 years? What about for life? I mean, you wouldn't let a known rapist or a known murderer, of course not, right? I mean, those are extreme, but the point is you wouldn't let any and everybody on your ships because they are more likely to hurt you and yours during those trips that you're going to be taking. So you can't be allowing just anybody in your ships. This is why you have to qualify them. You constantly hear me say, qualify those you give your heart to. All right. You do not want anyone to physically harm you. You don't want anyone to mentally harm you. You don't want anyone to just do anything to even those you love. Because a lot of times when we're letting people in our ships, there are people we have already in there. So like, let's say you have children already in your kinships, and you want to open your relationship, your romantic ship. All right. Let's say you want to open that up, but just understand that when you open that ship, it's oftentimes connected to your kinships, especially if you have children or siblings you might be taking care of or whatever the case, meaning they're going to be a part of that. So you want to be very, very careful on who you let in to your romantic ship or any of the friendships or whatever, because there are other people you're already connected to that if you get hurt, it's going to hurt them, or these people can come in and hurt all of you. All right. So think about that. So the first thing that you need to do is determine what kind of ship you are ready to open. All right. I gave you an example about mentorship. So, and that's the one that I'm opening right now. So that should help you all. Like, first of all, this is what I want to do. Okay. 2. Now, social media is so prevalent today. All right. Most of the people we know in our lives, in our circles, or just around are on social media. Not everybody, but many. So the new people that we're meeting, oftentimes we will first see them on posts and things like that. So what is number 2? Watch how they interact with others of the same and opposite sex on social media. Do they respect femininity in women? Do they respect masculinity in men? In other words, do they respect men and women even if they disagree? Even when they get the conversation gets so intense and they get in their feelings, are they cruel or do they still care? Listen, these people that you're looking at and you're observing operate on social media, they got issues, okay? We all got those. You know, it has a song, I got issues, you got them too. Correct. We all got issues, all right? We all have them. But are those issues you're noticing about them as you're observing, are you willing to allow them to bring those issues aboard your ship? Okay? That's why you got to watch how they interact when they're on social media. Believe it or not, a lot of people say, oh, you can hide behind a computer screen and people don't know who you really are. Let me tell you something. It's one thing I have learned. It may not be with everyone, but many people manifest on social media. They do it right then and there. You're like, whoa, I'm telling you, go to a news post on politics about Trump or something race related and watch people just manifest. Okay, so if you are thinking about adding someone to one of your ships, one of the first places you need to be seeing how to interact on is on social media. All right, check out what they're doing. What are they liking on social media? You don't have to even say anything. You don't have to, if they make some amazing comments, you don't even have to like them when you are in observe mode. I'm sorry, y'all. You don't even have to do all this liking and loving comments and disliking or whatever. Just watch. Over how did you feel when you read that thing? What kind of posts do they put up? You see what I mean? Are these posts against men? Or do they talk down about women? Are they talk about our race so much or other races so much? Do they have jokes that are way over the top? Are there bothersome political posts that you know that if you engage with them, it'll be intense arguments? This is important that you notice all these things because remember, people come as a package deal. That means they come with themselves and all of their weaknesses and all of their strengths. That's a package deal. And if they have children already, you got them, their weaknesses, their strengths, and the children that they're bringing into whatever ship it is, whether it's friendship or relationship or whatever, even mentorship. They may have children. So remember, people come as a package deal. They don't come just to you without their weaknesses and only strengths. No, they come with all of it. Okay. So let's just say they're not on social media. Here's your 2B for those that are not on social media. You need to observe them in social settings. Okay. Observe them when they're talking to their mom, their dad, their siblings. What is their relationship like with their mom, dad, and siblings and those in their family? And listen, let me tell you something. Even if they don't have the best relationship with their families, because there's a lot of people in dysfunctional families don't get along the best with those that are in kinships with, just watch how they interact with them when they do. Watch. Okay. And I want to tell you something about that too. Be careful with trying to observe people at church buildings. Okay. Because how many of you know many people put on fronts and masks and etc. just to go to church, and they're on like their best behavior while at the church building. Okay. So I don't think that's a good place to observe people. Now, I will say, unless you are in leadership and someone that you're interested in adding to one of your ships is also in leadership, that you can observe very well then. That's a little bit of a different story. I know this very well, and my husband and I have seen behind the scenes with leadership and stuff, got into it and all this kind of stuff. So that's a bit different. You can actually see what kind of people they are with the way they handle positions and power and things that go on behind the scenes when they're not among the congregation. Okay. But other than that, if these are people that you're just, hey, let's meet at church, I don't think that's always a good idea. Not in the very beginning. I'm not saying they should never come there or anything. I'm saying that it's going to be very hard to observe them, at church, because most oftentimes people are putting on good impressions. They're putting on fronts, they're putting on masks because they believe it is quote unquote the house of the Lord. So they're not going to act out there. You get what I'm saying? So basically, number 2 is observe how they interact with others, whether it is on social media or whether it's locally where you live. Watch how they interact. All right. Number 3, pay close attention to the way you interact with them via phone and text messages, inboxes, all of that stuff. How do those convos make you feel? Do you find yourself excited to talk to them? Or do you find yourself avoiding their calls? Is there something you just can't seem to put your finger on when you're talking to them? Like in different conversations, remarks they may say. Sometimes they get quiet on you and you don't know why. Pay a close attention to the way you interact with them, the way they interact with you. See, in number 2, we were looking at how they interacted with others on and off social media. But now you need to pay close attention to the way they interact with you on and off social media. Whether it's on the phone, text messages, inbox, different posts that y'all may be on or whatever, or around your neighborhood, or however you're meeting these people that you're working to add to one of your ships. Pay close attention to how they interact with you. All right. If something doesn't seem right or something seems off about certain things when it comes to them, do not ignore these feelings. Okay. You have red flags for a reason. So pay close attention to the way you interact with one another. Thing I want you to look at, I want you to look and see if these people are being themselves, because then you will determine whether you want to go further with them or whether you want to keep them at arm's length or just at a distance. Okay. So I know people have been watching me and they will either eventually ask me for mentorship or friendship or just can they be around me or whatever. And then others like, you know what, I was going to do that, but she seems a bit hard. So that's not my style. So I'm going to back up. All right. So that's how we are to be. We're to pay close attention to the way we interact with them and the way they interact with us via phone, text message, inboxes, all those things, email, all that stuff. Okay. Number 4. This is so important. All these are important, but number 4 is big because a lot of people miss this. Whatever this ship that you're ready to open, qualify men the same way you qualify women. Okay. What do I mean by that? Let's say you are opening up friendship. Please do not slack up on qualifying a woman for friendship just because y'all are the same sex. And just because you're opening up the friendship and it's not the romantic ship, because you're not going to marry the friend, right? So just because it's a friendship, please do not allow her to not be qualified the same way you would a man. Be just as hard, be just as like, I'm watching, I'm seeing what's up, which we oftentimes forget. Women break hearts too. What I mean, I'm talking about in friendships. We break hearts all the time. You see people cut people off all the time. Toxic people and all that, right? Please don't think that doesn't break many ladies' hearts to lose friends. We can be all, strong, like I'm just going to cut them off, whatever. And then we be at home feeling bad and sad and whatnot. I remember it's been about 5 years ago, I had to cut off a relationship. Is it the last relationship I've cut off? I want to say it's one of the last relationships I cut off, or if not the last. And I talked to my mentors about it first. I have been dealing with this for months. And when I finally did it, I literally cried for 2 days behind that relationship ending. 2 days. I just walk around the house, do as much as I can, and I would cry. And I was hurting. But I didn't do a very good job of qualifying the lady like I'd qualified my husband for marriage. I didn't do a very good job of qualifying her. And it was very one-sided and toxic relationship. Yet in the end, I still mourned that friendship. We have been friends for 4 years. That's quite a bit of time to be friends with someone, right? So I mourned that friendship and it hurt me very much. And my heart was broken because of it. Okay. So please qualify men the same way you qualify women. So if you're qualifying a woman for a friendship, qualify her just like you would a man, because these are covenants we're entering to. Covenant keepers. So we need to be qualifying people for covenant. All your ships are covenants. Even when I mentor, that's a covenant to me. Because eventually we're going to become friends. It's not just going to be mentor and mentee. We're going to become friends. And that's a covenant. I do not break covenants. I work very hard not to break covenants. All right. So think about it. I want you to think about some things when you're qualifying a woman for a friendship. All right. Or either like, even if it is a man for a romantic ship, are either of them, man or woman, doesn't matter. Are either of them ready to get into a relationship pretty fast? Look out for stuff like that. Are they already asking things of you and y'all just really met? These could be needy people who are ready to drain you to exhaustion. So just remember, not just men break hearts, women break hearts too. All you got to do is think about the many relationships that have failed when you were in friendships. So be careful. Be careful. I just qualify men the same way you qualify women. All right. Don't sleep on women. We love, we also hurt. Okay. Number 5, let a mentor or wise person in your life, etc., read your applicant's mail. Yes, everybody that you're qualifying for something is an applicant. What do I mean by let a mentor that you have, a wise person in your life, read your applicant's mail? This just means to bring them around the people who can see what you may miss. Or let them talk to them. This is if you've gone some ways now that y'all are meeting, you've observed, y'all are engaging in conversation. So now you're like, okay, I want to get to the point where I want to move forward. So let me let them meet some people in my life who can help see things that I can't see. Okay, let me tell you something. Please remember this analogy. Do you know that sometimes at banks, after they receive an application for a loan, they go through a process, right? Some of you may have already applied for loans at a bank and you got approved or you didn't, but you know there is a process. But when you apply for a loan at a bank, what do you call the applicant, right? So what the loan officer does is they collect all your info. You give them all your information, check stubs, bank statements, anything that you have, they want to know about it. You tell them about your assets, your liabilities, how much money you make in, how much money goes out. You're giving all of this information. They ask for a lot, don't they? Well, we should be the same way when it comes to qualifying people to be in relationships with us. Why are we not getting enough info or a lot of info from people? So the loan officer, you give all that stuff to. They look over everything to make sure there are no mistakes on your application, or they're going to tell you to correct it. They're going to get everything from you. But that's not it. The next thing they do, they check and make sure everything's legit, and then they send it to who are called underwriters. Now, underwriters know what to look for that the loan officer may not. The loan officer may have missed something, or the loan officer may not be qualified to be an underwriter, which is why they have a team. You have the loan officer in their role, staying in their lane, doing their thing. And then you have the underwriters. What do underwriters do? They check out everything that was given, that the applicant gave to the loan officer. Banks have a team, y'all. And so they do this all the time. They approve and deny loans every single day while they're in business. All right. So underwriters do what's called a VOE. That's a verification of employment. They'll even do a VOM, verification of mortgage, or depending on where you live. And they have to. They check literally everything. They will learn your debt to income ratio. They will, everything you said on that list, the references you put down, they will call them. They're going to look up about your assets, your money, your everything. Okay. Why? Why are they doing all this? Seems like it's so much, right? Because they do not want to give you what's very valuable to them and you're not qualified. They do not want to give you their money unless you're qualified, right? So they do a thorough check on all applicants. There's not one applicant whose application gets turned in and it just going to approved status. Yet that's what a lot of us have been doing. Too easy approvals. It should take work to get into a ship with you. You are valuable. You are worth it. Now watch this. So they go through this thorough check, right? Because these people want their money. They want the bank's money. And this is how we are to be. We should have a support system set up in place where we allow those wiser than us who can see what we may miss to help in qualifying applicants for your what? Your heart. Did y'all just get that? Your heart. Why am I saying that? Because ultimately, all ships in your life pretty much have this one major thing in common. Your heart. All my ships come with my heart. And my heart is more valuable than money. It's more valuable than jewels, okay? My heart is life. My heart is bae. So I'm not just going to approve any and everybody for my heart so easily. They must be thoroughly checked out. And this is how you should be. I remember when I met my husband and I wanted to go further. We had been talking, watched how we interact with each other over the phone and debates because we definitely had them and things like that. We met, all that kind of stuff. Well, when I wanted to see if I should go further with him, he had to meet some people. Like we was clicking and hit it up. We had to meet some people. He had to meet some of my people. We were still just friends, just associates, really. We didn't just jump into a relationship. It took a whole 13 to 14 months for his application to be approved by the loan officer, the underwriter, the bank itself. I have seen banks turn down people with good credit. I've seen banks and finance companies turn down people with good credit. I never forget, I worked at a finance company and we had to turn down this lady. They gave her grades for each account she had and it was all A's. The woman had been paying on time for years. And I was sitting there like, why are we not approving this lady? She literally has good credit. She's never been late on anything. They said her debt to income ratio is risky. I was like, okay, I see the debt. Oh, okay. She was bringing, let's say, I can't remember exactly, but let's say she was bringing in $3,000 a month. Well, her debts came to like $2,500 a month. And you would think, well, that's enough left over to pay this bill back. They was like, nah, that's enough to left over if she gets in a bind. The last person she's going to pay is us, if she pays us at all. That was a risk. It was too risky for them. So she had good credit, but they was like, nah, too risky. This is how we have to be with our hearts. We can say, you know what, you got a lot together, that I'm impressed with, but there are some major things that's too risky for me to allow you to have my heart. Once we start looking at our ships as our hearts are in there, like in Noah's Ark. Remember I said your prized possession are in your ark, is in your ark, Octavia's ark, whatever your name's ark is. Your prized possessions are in there. Your children, your mate if you're already married and you're looking for friendships. When I get ready to open up one of my ships to someone, I have to think about, I have a husband in there. I have 5 children in there. I can't just let any woman up in there, because even then, remember I told you about the friendship I had to end 5 years ago because she was toxic. It caused me so much stress and mental anguish at times, and I would get down and a little bit depressed that I couldn't function with my family. Do y'all see how all of that is connected? Your heart is in each of your ships. You cannot easily approve everyone. I should have qualified that lady better. If I did, 5 years ago, probably wouldn't have happened. Okay. And I know we can learn from these things. So, okay. So, and another thing I want to tell you, ever notice some banks don't even answer you right away when they're working to qualify you? You can call in to see if you're approved, call in all the time, and they're still going through process. The process is still going on. Everything's still going on. We don't have an answer yet. They are checking out everything thoroughly. And you're just like, how long does it take? When people say fast approval, fast this and that, fast that. Listen, it ain't for the type of money. All right. They still going to check everything out. You still got to go through underwriters. It's still going to be some time before they approve you. They may give you some updates, and they may even call you to ask for more items to determine if you're worthy of their money or not. You could be like, your application could be sitting there for a week or two, and then they call you up and you're like, oh, finally, they let me know if I'm approved or declined. They're like, we need this and we need that. You can get exhausted with needing that, but many of us don't give up because we want that loan, right? So others that really want to be in our ship with us, they won't give up while you are processing their application. Okay. It's all about a process. And because remember, our hearts are very valuable. Our hearts are what beats inside of us to keep our life going. When our hearts get broken, it has the potential to stall our lives or even kill us. I know of people who have died from heartbreak. It's that serious, y'all. So we want to make sure we qualify before giving our heart away. Because if any of y'all like me, I love hard. I mentor hard. I friend hard. I romantic hard. I do everything hard. I go hard. So I can't just be giving my heart and my ship to just anybody. Okay. So my Noah's Ark, or rather my OEV's Ark, as far as when it comes to mentorship, has been closed for a few years. And so now I'm working to qualify some ladies before I open it back up. Does that make sense, y'all? So let's quickly do a recap. 5 ways to qualify someone for a relationship with you. Remember, this is general. Number 1, determine the type of ship you want to allow someone on. Determine which one it is you're ready to open. Number 2, if they are on social media, watch how they interact with others the same and opposite sex. If in person, watch how they interact with their family and others. Look at how they interact with people. How do they deal with their anger when they get upset? Watch them, whether it's on social media or outside. Look at both if you can. 3, pay close attention to the way you interact with them via phone, text message, inbox, whatever. Pay attention to the way you interact with that person. Is there something that you can't put your finger on about them? Are you excited to talk to them, or are you trying to avoid them? Don't ignore these feelings. Oftentimes, those are some flags that you need to be checking out. Okay. Number 4, qualify men the same way you qualify women. Please do not slack up on qualifying women just because they are the same sex as you, ladies. Okay? Don't do it. Qualify them like you would qualify men. Like really. And then if you are a little lenient with men and hard on women, I still want you to do the same. Switch it up. Qualify women like you qualify men. And I hope I said that right, y'all. Qualify men the same way you qualify women, and qualify women the same way you qualify men. Don't slack with either of them is what I'm saying. Depending on what ship it is you're opening up, do not slack no matter what. Qualify them the same across the board. Okay. And number 5, let a mentor or wise person in your life, someone older, someone wiser in this area, read your applicant's mail. All of these people that you're thinking about allowing on your ship are applicants. Okay. And that just simply means bring them around the people who are wise and who can read people and discern better than you. You should always have people around you that can do something better than you. Each person in your circle should be better than you in something. You got to be able, your circle has to be able to grow. Y'all got to be able to evolve, have evolution. That's another story we'll talk about another day. Basically what I'm saying is let someone else who can read that mail, all right, who can discern better than you, who's wise in relationships, let them read that person's mail. When I was qualifying my husband, when I took him to my mentors at the time, they read his mail, hunty. They told me some things he struggled in without even really knowing him, just being around him for a little bit. They told me he had an issue with patience, but they told me he had a radiant spirit. I was like, okay, hey, we can work with this. And that's at the end of the day, can you work with that? Can you allow that to be on your ship? Is that because they're a package deal? Them, their weaknesses and their strengths. And then if they have children, that comes too. We all come as a package deal. We don't just come with us and strengths. No, we come with weaknesses too. But which weaknesses are you willing to put up with or to allow on your ship around your most prized possessions, your heart, and those who also have your heart and you have their heart? Did you just hear what I just said? Those good things and those not so good things about that person, is it worth them coming aboard one of your ships where your heart is and where the people you love are? At the end of the day, that's what we got to remember. All right. So I'm glad y'all got that today. And I think this really is going to help some ladies. So that is episode 1 completed for my Ships and Sex podcast, y'all. I'm so excited. I'm literally so excited on where this podcast is going. And so I ask that you all please share with as many as you can as I continue to expose the ills in our ships and our sex lives so that we can get to freedom, y'all. We need it. We need some redemption and some liberation around here. No, really. We need more ships that sail and not sink, and we need more sex lives that are liberated and not repressed. All right. So do not forget to go, by the way, to oev.life and sign up for your 20-minute consult. It is only $25, but it can be the best $25 you've ever spent in your life because I go hard in all one-on-one sessions. Trust me, I do. So get your consult today and let's see if I can help point you in the right direction for your journey in this thing. Go to oev.life. Y'all know why it's called life, oev.life and not oev.com, because I'm here to help you with life. I'm here to help you do this for life still, just with ships and sex. That quick pick me up can make your entire day. I'm telling y'all, the feedback is real, y'all. The positive feedback is real. So anyway, I'm going to let you all continue to enjoy the rest of your week. I pray that it is an amazing week for you. And I will be right here in your ear next Wednesday for the next episode of Ships and Sex with OEV. I'll talk with you soon. Much love.